We are chasing 10,000 followers over on our TikTok channel. We're excited that we are now live on YouTube as well. So, pretty exciting about that. Really didn't expect to get here. Sorry. I want to give a shout out to Alice, who did an amazing job being co-host last night for an impromptu chasing the 10K moment. And I'm trying to see. There we go. We had 7 viewers last night, 2 hours and 26 minutes. We're racing to 10K. So we're going to put out our stuff over on YouTube. Actually, should open up my TikTok so I can see your comments. Hold on 1 second. And I will try to see what we can see. Here we go. Alice is awesome. Just popped in and said hi. I won't be able to hear you over the vacuum. That's fine. Get the work done. We're just chasing 10K. That's the deal. We're going to try to get to 10K as soon as we can for all the good things that come with it. But Alice did an amazing job as a co-host last night. Could not have done it without them. So we're going to be filming, like I said, some TikToks. And it's funny because there are things I think of and I should write them down, and I don't write them down and I forget them. But that is just the way of things sometimes, right? How many actual people do we have following this channel? I'm curious now. We have 54 subscribers, but I guess we put in enough time that we got the live feature way early. So I'm kind of excited about that. I'm kind of excited that we get to go live. Okay, so we're just going to put this through the Facebook. Get it out there. We're chasing 10K because there are so many good things that can come with it as far as educational tools. So we are going to try to be doing that. Just trying to load it all up. So we're gonna, there he goes. Oh, wrong one. The problem with sometimes these things is that they wind up getting in the way of each other. So we're trying to promote the live at the same time. There we go. Chasing 10K on TikTok. Now, you guys can ask any questions. We will be making some TikToks. Unfortunately, this will just take me a minute. I'm just sharing out what we're doing right now to different groups. We're going to be talking about kinky comics as well. You guys are going to be behind the scenes of me doing some videos. I know this is not the most stirring thing. I promise if you fast forward in about 5 minutes, it'll probably be more interesting, honestly. How's everyone's Saturday doing, by the way? I just had way too much of a zoom in. It's weird. Okay. Give me one second. There we go. How's everyone doing? I'm actually asking. You guys can share anything you want with me. Ask me any questions. I'll cover them in between when we're doing stuff. Just quickly looking over anything. Putting out our stuff. Yesterday we tried putting it out through the BDSM community on Facebook. It didn't really get us very much of any real traction, but we'll try again with some things, and then we'll put it out on the different way. So a lot of the social media stuff is trying to, as weird as it sounds, you can't sometimes just build in one place. Like we've done a great job of building this TikTok channel very organically, but we're going to go to the Facebook as well to try to help us get to that position where we want to be, and that's 10K, because at 10K we get the playlist at 10K, and the playlist will help us organize what we have. So that'll be awesome. All right. So we're going to hopefully get some people on this, but even if they're not on it, the good thing about advertising, instead of advertising this TikTok, because the TikToks don't stay unless I download them, but the YouTube will be, as they say, evergreen, at least for now. Facebook is getting rid of a lot of stuff, by the way. It's crazy. A lot of the videos that we did are now going to be deleted. And I mean, I put a lot of time and energy into some live videos, and now they're going to get rid of them. We put out all that content, and I mean, I understand it. I'm not like really mad about it, but it is. It's just going to be kind of gotten rid of, which kind of stinks. I'm actually curious if you guys don't mind. Tell me where you're from, just the state or country, um, if you're not in the U.S. Because if you tell me what part of England you're in, I'll be honest, I probably won't even understand where you are. I'm just being honest. I mean, I know England, okay, but like Europe, I think one of the craziest things was New Jersey's in the house. You know, New York and New Jersey's grudge between each other, I think, really is just something that we should move past at this point. I think it's time to let things heal. But yeah, if you guys have other questions, and also where you're from and how old you were when you got into kink, if you don't mind me asking that. You don't have to participate, obviously, but I would love to know, just for my own thoughts, we'll put it. It's unfortunate, LOL. Yeah, the New Jersey, New York drama, like, and it really has more to do with politics that we were never aware of. And I do think that it's certainly gotten out of hand in the last few decades, I would say 40. All right. Well, welcome to the show. I believe you're returning. Yeah, you're returning. You've been here before. That's cool. I'll send this again. There we go. So now I'm looking at all the groups over on my other place. Now, I haven't been on Facebook very much, so we're trying content. Because before I really say I'm back on Facebook, we kind of want to test it. So we're doing that. So let's keep this conversation going. Do you mind me asking what made you get into kink? Like, was there an inspiration? Did you see a TV show? Was it just something that you just kind of felt and knew? Like, I'm always curious about that. If you don't mind me asking. Yeah, the last time we were on some of these was like 24 years. I mean, 24 weeks ago. Just trying to look at where we would want to send some of these things. See, Facebook used to be so much easier to like kind of send things to, and you could get an audience really fast, but it's not as much anymore. And don't worry, we're going to get into kink education in just a few seconds. I always was submissive in the bedroom and always was attracted to dominant men for as long as, and I believe we're going to get a part 2 on that. I can remember, just couldn't find that in the vanilla world. That's very true. Do you have any things that you would consider to be like your staple kinks? Do you have a compeller? Do you have a fetish? And if you don't mind sharing, of course, love to talk about it. Because this channel is really about you guys. As much as it is about kink information, it's always going to be about you guys. And it's going to be us talking about that. Okay. And we try our best. We always want to involve you. For those who saw the discussion last night, you know that we put the energy in. I'm trying to see if we can post something here. It says you need to have an admin do it, but I guess we'll see what happens. This is the tedious work that they don't talk about, getting your stuff out there. We're even going to throw this on Blue Sky. We'll put it on Twitter. I can't remember. I just couldn't find. I can remember. I just can't. Sorry, saying one. Excuse me while I might be sneezing. What's the funniest thing about this whole journey to me is that I always feel like I've always had to kind of hide who I am in many ways, and I feel like we're doing the same thing right now, where I have to sort of separate certain things of myself, as funny as that sounds. Nope, that is not what I wanted. I don't know, maybe I'll see. Nope, I knew that. Sorry, I'm having a password issue with Blue Sky. I don't have time to hack my password, damn it. Let me see if I can't. I store these here for a specific reason, and then they get screwed up. All right, let's see. There we go. I just tried that one. Oh, I guess I did it wrong. All right, new posting. Why are you guys? I'm sorry, whoever made that comment. Oh, wait, I can fix this. Maybe I shouldn't have during play. I love getting. Okay. Actually, I'm going to go to the bigger screen because I have it live. Let's do this. I love getting my anger out and letting my Dom get his anger out of me during play. And then Summer asked anger. No one is ever allowed to hit me in anger. Well, I don't believe it's if someone's angry. You can use the emotion. I don't think And tell me if I'm wrong, little sub Shelly. You don't mean they're hitting you with being angry at you. They're using that energy that the anger has produced, the emotion. Yes, okay. And that I understand because now you're just using it. It feels more genuine sometimes, but that's if you're a heavy player. Understand this is I'm assuming little sub you are a heavy player, meaning that there is a lot more energy that goes into it that can be from an outside perspective intense to watch. And um and I do understand the limit of not wanting someone to be angry and play. I'm not saying you have to be angry. It's something that takes a good amount of control to be able to do. And I totally understand not being necessarily comfortable with it if it's not your wheelhouse. Because, I mean, there is an intensity there that's definitely. Sorry, they only let you write so many lines in here. Yeah, if any of you guys want to jump on, by the way, to explain something, you are more than welcome. TikTok is trying to have all of us have guests on for the summer. Apparently, this is like an ongoing theme. They want people to be on lives, so if you guys want to jump on, feel free to jump on. Most of you should be eligible to be guests because we have so many followers. I believe there's less and less limitation to what we can have as far as people coming on. The only thing I ask is you don't try to play out a drama here. We had that one time. Sage reminded me of one of the first times we tried to let someone on live. After I'd let Sage on live, some people were just, and you could tell they were teenagers. They shouldn't have been on it. They were just trying to get attention, and it was like, oh, it's not a big deal. They were trying to have, like, I guess, a viral moment, which means they were probably recording it, which was, if you watch the video, it's exactly why I got so quiet. Because I knew they were probably trying to legally download it. And at the point, I could not find the way to kick out guests. That's the one thing I hate about TikTok is that it doesn't. There are these people who want to play these dumb TikTok games. Well, they're not dumb. They're TikTok games I have no interest in. And when you don't have interest in it, you just like, ugh. I'm sure some people have a lot of fun with it. One of the groups here that I'm putting this video in right now is called Handcuff Party. And that just sounds like a party I want to be. That sounds like something I want to be up and about. So, let's have my phone here. I should be charging the phone in between us making TikToks. Let's see. So we are starting this program at 9,856. We are under 150. It is now officially getting serious. We are, and if you guys know people who'd be interested in this, if you wouldn't mind sharing this, I would actually be very appreciative of it. All right, I think we've put it everywhere but Twitter, which we'll throw this on Twitter and we'll see what we get. There used to be ways to share this stuff. Like very quick ways, but those days have gone away. Hashtags aren't what they used to be. Just putting out the last one. Yeah, it used to be so much. At one point, I could put one post like 50 places. Seeing how I'm a DV survivor, why is it, do you think I enjoy play? Because you brought up the anger thing. Usually, anger is a little, when someone takes out their anger on you, that's considered a heavy player. It's considered a more rough aspect of it. And to everyone, like, this is a marginal idea of our bell curve. And some people consider impact, believe it or not, as a heavy player. Just doing impact makes you a heavy player. Good morning, shit show, Barbie. Oh, very cool. So that's not my term. Heavy players are usually impact and up. I think you're confusing heavy player with like edge player. Yes, but we're chasing 10K right now, so we're being on our best behavior today. So if you want to jump on, just do me a favor, try to be mindful. We're really close to hitting the 10K mark, so I'm trying not to get any shadow bans. So let's keep off of politics. Let's keep off of the other stuff, but keep it educational and kink, and we can rock and roll all day because we have big plans for this summer. We want to be, oh, I don't care about the background. That's on TikTok. And honestly, the new rule with TikTok is because they want guests. I don't get in trouble. It's just if there's an issue, it tells me now to kind of kick guests out. And if I don't kick guests out, that's when I get the problem. So I don't want to have to kick anyone out. That's why I say before you come on, understand the behaviors that are displayed by anyone. As I was saying, the behaviors that are displayed by anyone are held accountable to that account now, which I kind of like. What's going on? Not much. How have you been? I'm good. Just as a heads up, while you're not being seen on YouTube, this is also just being recorded on YouTube as well. Just so you know, just a little bit of I don't think you care, but I like to tell people that we have more ears in the room than normal. I appreciate that. And YouTube is like, no matter what we do now, at least me, I'm on camera. There's proof. There's proof of what I did. So we don't want to piss off our TikTok audience because our YouTube audience or the YouTube itself. Because for the first time, we're actually able to go live on YouTube now. Oh. Yeah, that we just found out yesterday. Yeah. So what are the big plans this summer? For the Kink Educator channel, when we hit 10K, we get to do playlists, and playlists will help that when we have a topic, we can expand on it. So we're going to be going back to BDSM 101. So we're going to go back to the basics. We're calling it the summer program. The summer school. So here, I'm going to try to, I don't know why I can never do the cool thing the other kids do where they have the side by side. It never, I don't know. You know how TikTok has a different app for everybody, it seems? We have that. So how's work today? Oh, it's actually, for being my first hour, I've had a couple sales already. So I realized this morning that I am like, my job is like say yes to the dress, but for marital aids. And that was my fault. I'm sorry. Oh. I think your background was an issue. It just kicked you off. I didn't know it did that. It put up a thing that said, do you want to remove this person? And I was going to hit no, and it just popped you off. I'm sorry about that. I guess your background is too much for them. Sorry about that. I hope it doesn't get you in trouble. TikTok has expanded their algorithm recently. So now I didn't see anything in the background, but I wasn't looking. There must have been something it picked up on that I couldn't see, and it just kicked you off. sorry. I didn't mean to get you in trouble if that happened, because I know you didn't say anything. I heard every word you said. You were fine. So I'm because you had mentioned the background. So I guess there was something in the background uh, that TikTok did not approve of. So, and we didn't get it on the YouTube, so I can't really go back and look at it. Sorry about that. But if you want to share stuff, feel free to share in our chat. So yeah, we're going to use these playlists to kind of build on information and just go from there. So pretty exciting. All right, and we just made a whole TikTok. I mean, a whole thing on our site. So I hope you're okay, Barbie. I hope that didn't get you in trouble. Um, I've never seen them kick someone out on their own before. I didn't even, well, I guess I knew they could do it. I mean, they are TikTok, it is their platform, but I didn't know they were automatically going to do that. I'm going to have to warn some guests about that too now. The changing TikTok, how you're growing up to be very big brother. All right, so I'm going to leave my chat open, so I'm going to see you guys, and we're going to film some content. And I can see you guys making comments. So one of the things that I'm being suggested, and if you've been on this channel, you know that this is probably my bad very often, is the fact that I do not switch up the angles in which I'll do like 10 videos all the same. So, and now I don't remember any video I wanted to do. I know there was one I saved. It was just, I made a note of it. What is a very good question? Oh yeah, the mental illness. Okay. So we're gonna talk about mental illness and kink. I feel like we maybe shouldn't have a lot of distracting stuff in the background for this one. I don't know. Let me see. Let me see what we can see. Maybe we'll go with the just the white door behind me, because I do want to kind of have, and I think we'll do a standing video. I don't think I do enough standing videos either. And feel free to ask any questions while I'm doing this. You guys are more than welcome. I should actually check to make sure. When we're done with this, I'm going to check to make sure that TikTok's not also pissed at me for anything from the live today. Hope not, because we're really trying to work within the bounds of the app. So, all right. A less distracting background. We'll keep the rope there in the picture. I'm just trying to push it back a little bit. See if I can't get the rope in the shot. There's just one light that's out, and of course it's going to be there. There we go. Mental illness and kink. What exactly is our responsibilities, and should you play, or can people play with mental illnesses and be able to give consent? I am not a doctor. I am not going to play a doctor in this video. I'm going to tell you the flat out, just basics of how I believe this should be handled. This is not even an educator thing, because I'm not qualified to educate on mental health. I'm going to tell you, because it was asked of me, how I would personally deal with this. First off, full disclosure, I have been diagnosed with neurodivergency, which could be considered a mental condition, depending on who you ask. And RFK definitely wants it to be that. We could also consider my depression to be a mental illness or a mental condition. My anxiety disorder, I get panic and anxiety attacks, which are different. So, yeah, welcome to it. So, I have never been diagnosed, and this is my belief, that I cannot consent. No one's ever told me I'm not capable of it. Having a mental illness doesn't make you incapable of things inherently. It means you have a more struggle. You have to overcome more things. You have your life set on hard. You're going to deal with things that aren't within your control, and you're going to have to figure out how that works. By figuring out how it works, you can consent to things. I would suggest that you have to disclose to partners any triggers you have, any mental diagnosis, because it is a health diagnosis. Should you do this with the average person that you might run into if you do pickup play? That's a personal belief. I know some people don't want their business out there because there is a stigma about having a mental illness. Well, I can't play with this person because they have entered mental illness here. So sometimes people don't want that news out there because they become the mental illness instead of being the person. Like, I have ADHD, but my name's not ADHD. So I get that, but you should disclose to anyone that you're building a dynamic with, especially if you have triggers. You should if you have triggers and have identified them, stay away from that kind of play in public, and especially if you're not giving the information to the person you're playing with in pickup play. If you know there are certain things you're just not capable of, absolutely think that you should be paying attention to that completely 100% and not engaging in things like that. However, I don't think because someone has mental illness, we discount them or say that they can't be in our community or in our lifestyle. If they are medically diagnosed as not being able to consent, and this is usually extreme cases, to be honest with you, we're talking about like maybe Down syndrome, and it's not an across the board thing from my understanding, but some people with Down syndrome are considered unable to consent for certain things. And they usually will have someone who has power of attorney, power over the person's health proxy, different things like that. So no, the simplest answer here is that having a mental illness doesn't make a person a bad person. End of story. That's just it. It doesn't make someone a bad person. So if they're not a bad person, why wouldn't you play with them? It also doesn't make them incapable of making the decisions to consent to what happens to themselves and with themselves. This has been sort of a convoluted video in the way that I've kind of addressed the things I did, but there is no straightforward with this. I hope I covered it all. If I didn't, please leave me a message, and I'll try to address it the best I can, but I am not a doctor. I'm a kink educator. Damn it, Jim. Not a doctor. I'm a kink educator. Star Trek fans will like it. How are we all doing? I feel like we're not getting comments anymore. You guys, again, we asked this a little earlier. If consenting with mental health issues. See, now I have horrible damage in my back. If you notice that I move around a lot when I stand, it's because I'm in pain a lot. So, this one I actually don't want. There are a few videos I don't use closed captioning for, and specifically it's because of the words I'm using. Okay, so we did not get a system notification. So we're apparently not in trouble just yet for anything we did. Sometimes they hit later. We are getting a few followers, which is nice. We're at 9,857 right now. So who do we have in attendance right now? We have Apollo Whips. Ooh, I like that. Apollo Whips. I had this debate. There's going to be some people doing whips in a park. And I actually asked the question, is this appropriate? And my dynamic partner turned around and said, well, yeah, I mean, think about like cowboys and how whips are used outside of that. And I was like, I guess. And apparently it's at state fairs. I guess what threw me is that it was advertised on the FetLife. So it was like one of the events. so I might get my stool out of the other room. Bear with me 1 minute. Tell me where you're all coming from. Let me know. Where are you out of? So I'll let my battered back sit for a few minutes. I'm just going to check out our YouTube audience, see if anyone's shown up over there. So far, not. Sadness. All right, so let's switch our angle a bit and do some comment questions. So I think we'll go this way. What I'm going to do is open the door behind. So I'm going to push that back. Now, if I do this at the right angle, I'll get the BDSM flag in the background as I answer some comments. We might have to adjust again, though. So. All right, let me try something. I wonder if I can promote my own live. I don't think it lets me. Subscribers on YouTube and 5,000 subscribers. It's weird here. Not even seeing that I'm live at the moment. On Patreon. You want to be friends? You should be friends with my dog. Do you feel danger? Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm trying to see if I can see we're live. I wonder if they took that away. All right, we're going to try something. I will be right back. We're just going to walk away from this, end this one, and start another one. So we're going to head over to our Free Hugs and Spanks channel. I'm trying to see. It says we have a lot of comments. Not as many as you'd think. We can handle this a little later. All right. We're going to go live here. I think there's a mosquito in my room. That's no bueno. We're just planning out the live now on Free Hugs and Spanks. $10K for Kink Educator. Sorry, I'm actually in the middle of trying to flip the camera and it's not flipping. There we go. Hello, our free thanks and hugs family. We're going to go live again on Kink Educator in just a few minutes. We are still live on our YouTube channel, and we're going to do a video or two with you guys, and then we'll head back over to Kink Educator and see how that works. So let's answer some questions. Showing off a new angle. Let's start with this. I want to get a good angle. I just got to kick some things out of the way. That should do it. All right. So we're chasing the elusive 10K, and we need your help. If you're kinky, hit the follow button. Follow us for your kink education that you deserve. And once we get to 10K, we're going to start over at BDSM 101. But this time, we're going to be able to use TikTok playlists to organize and keep the information flowing to you if you're brand new or you just want a refresher course on BDSM 101. I've been in the lifestyle for 30 years. I still go to BDSM 101 panels, workshops, and classes. So hit that follow button and get your education for the summer planned out and started today. I always feel so stupid. I really do feel stupid sometimes doing these things. I trip on my words. Like, there is a lot of anxiety. Actually, maybe we'll make a video about that. About this. Since it's Saturday, we don't generally post on Saturdays. Saturday is one of the hardest places to get views, but you got to do what you got to do to get what you want in life. I have the time. I'm going to dedicate until noon doing this. All right, so I'm the kink educator. I go around making all these videos about kink. But something you don't know probably is that I have ADHD. And I'm always nervous about doing this stuff. I have anxiety and panic attacks. And like many of you, sometimes I feel like I shouldn't be the voice of what I'm saying, even though I know it. And I like when I can hide behind my comics, I have no problem with it. So I've made comics, and I'm very excited about the comics I've made, and they're very informative. I have no problem. And I can do this and put it in writing, go here, and not have to worry about talking about it. Ironically, though, the most comfortable I am is when people are kind of pushing back on me and asking me to explain. It is these quieter moments where I suddenly have to convince you, especially strangers, that I know what I'm talking about. And it's funny because there are people in a community south of me who will fill a room with 20 people and pat themselves on the back about how many people they're educating. And out of the 20, 10 people know them and don't even need their class. And I'm not knocking that, but these are the same people who need further education but don't go beyond those bubbles. I have hosted events with over 100 people in attendance. We've had videos with thousands upon thousands of views. I have been able to go to panels, including at New York Comic Con, and actually talk about kink with industry professionals. I am very excited to give the education. I'm just always nervous that I don't come off right. That, I'm just a kid from New York City, and sometimes, it's like, why would anyone want to listen to me kind of feeling? I don't want to say imposter syndrome, because I know I belong here. I know I'm good at education. Just sometimes I wish there were more adults in the room, if that makes sense. So if you suffer from anxiety, if you suffer from feelings of inadequate, I get it, but trust me, There's only one of you, and you're awesome. So you go out there and you do what you feel in your heart and express it to the world. Because only you can do it the way you're about to. So, okay. Post that one. Hello there, my free hugs and spanks audience. How are we? How meta. All right, we're gonna do some other videos. We're gonna hop off of here. Meet us back at Kink Educator. I'll see you on the other side of it. We're switching over back to Kink Educator. Okay, we're back live on the Kink Educator channel. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera. Oops, not what I wanted actually. Different flip. All right, so we're back. We had some sort of issue where we could no longer even share our event, and I could not find it. So we're gonna go and invite some cool people to partake in the live right now. So we're trying to share things as well nowadays, just so we can get other people's opinions. So this is interaction as well. So we try to, what I'm looking right now is to see who's on. So I'm looking for a little green dot. If I saw a little green dot, I sent it to him. Still chasing 10K. Oh, sorry about that. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm going to double check to make sure you can hear me. We invited some cool people. Okay, it says we're live. Let's hear. Hello. I think I'm muted. Yeah. There we go. There it goes. Good, good. This is our part two. We actually went wrong. There was a TikTok. I don't think we were trying to assume it was a technical glitch. I didn't get any notifications that TikTok was upset at us. So I honestly don't know what happened. We had a guest on. I'm assuming the guest had mentioned that they had something in the background that TikTok might not have liked. Big deal, but they asked me to kick them off and then did it themselves. They didn't even wait for me to make a decision. So we're answering questions. Feel free to add your information. Hey, Sage, anyone wants to come on this morning? You're more than welcome to come on, talk to me about your camping experience while I make TikToks. And we chase the 10K. And it's funny, last night we did that very long show. Sage actually was a guest with us, and we didn't get a single follower, right? Not one single follower. Like 4 hours later, we suddenly got a wave of about, I think we're at 46. We got like 11 or 12. This morning we lost one or two. And I don't get it. It's like a seesaw lately, but it is what it is. So again, we're inviting people to tell their stories. If you want to share your experiences, come on board. You can be a guest today. We want to see you be part of these shows and have the conversations with us. You're all valid to me, and I want to hear your stories. Want to know where you're coming from. Tell me the city, state, whatever you feel comfortable sharing, and also country. This time of day, we do get people from the UK. We've gotten people from France. I've even gotten someone from the Ukraine because they literally saw this and we're like, "Oh, you're Ukrainian?" I didn't say it that way. The accent of growing up around a multi-language house. My mother was an immigrant. All right, so let's see what comments we have. So we're going to answer some comment questions. You guys are going to be able to watch it. Very, very awkward angle for all of you, but this is going to give me an interesting angle for the people doing it. I'll raise up my seat. Here we go. So this is about, I'm going to read it too. So that I don't like to read the comments a lot of times because it's right there for somebody to read. So we're going to try something different this time. A couple of things with videos too is you want to kind of give hooks to new people. Those of you who have seen my content, you know what to expect. But if you're new, who the fuck is this guy, right? So some of the hooks help us with that. So let's see. I'm trying to stay out of frame so you can see the background and see the comments. So here's the comment we're going to talk about. It says they also need to stop correlating free use with CNC or saying it's the type of CNC it's really not. Here we go. Before you go any further, hit pause, read the comment, or it won't make sense. How many people are going to hit pause? Probably not many. They're going to keep just watching. That kind of jarred them, and hopefully they're like, wait a minute, what's going on? You want that apparently, wait, what's going on moment. Oh my goodness, everyone's talking about CNC. Consensual non-consent. What does that actually mean? It means you're consenting to things to be done later without someone actually stopping to ask if they can do it. It's pre-negotiated. It's already something you have said yes to. So current you has said yes for future you, despite what mood future you is in. That does not mean someone can't use a safe. And Alex, a frequent on our shows and co-host of Hinks of Our Lives, made a great point. So many of you are confusing CNC with free use. So what is the difference? Well, free use just implies to your partner that at any point when you feel the want, desire, or need to take me, have does not matter. You have blanket consent is another term that's often used. This is more based upon sex, so it can apply to being able to administer punishments throughout the day in a dynamic and or relationship. So let's go on to the bigger question. CNC, is that an umbrella term? No, CNC should not be an umbrella term. I am totally against this. So this is where I take off my teacher hat. This is just me giving an opinion. I think if we make CNC a umbrella term like BDSM, we don't understand the real importance of it, and it gets CNC itself needs to be its own thing. If we're going to make anything an umbrella term, why not make it blanket use or blanket permission or blanket consent? Blanket consent's the winner for me. I've heard all three. So blanket consent means that anything under the blanket, anything negotiated, is okay to do at any time. You have given someone the right. I also heard it called 24/7 consent. That would be a better umbrella term because CNC is actually a little more complicated with its origin. It is meant to push your partner out of comfort zones or have scenarios where your partner is actively not trying to be a willing participant, despite them being a willing participant. It's a role play where they are vigorously trying to defeat what you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do to them. This would include CNC, kidnapping scenes, suddenly confinement, caging someone up could be considered this too, and then maybe taking a hose and distributing cold water to them. We're not going to get into a lot of it, but I gave the simpler, easier to use TikTok, friendly-ish versions of what CNC can be. But it is also having your partner actively fighting back, almost making it a primal as well. So CNC is not what most people think it is. It is not just, oh, you're really looking good doing those dishes, so I'm going to do you. No, that's free use. And confusing the two can lead to problematic things. Of course, you always need to have the same language with your partners. And you need to make sure that you all understand what you're talking about through proper communication and negotiation. Consent can only be given after it's been informed. So use diaper. Did I ask permission, extensively, or representation? See how we end on the thumbs up? That's the important part. You're ready after you've gotten representation, which means asking questions and making sure they're represented in it. If someone seems actively timid and not asking questions, make sure you ask them, hey, do you understand everything? Was there anything that confused you? There are no dumb questions. There are only answers to answer those questions of yours. So keep that in mind. Work towards a better foundation with your partners in communication, negotiation. Only get consent after you diaper, and maybe throw new in there needs, expectations, and wants. Hello there, audience. Tell me where you're from. I want to know where all of you are from. Give me an idea. If see, it does. It puts music or roll on. If you guys don't mind, tell me where you're from. If you want to stay the USA, because you don't want to give out too much information, that's perfectly fine. We are recording on YouTube. And what I like about YouTube is that we have 0 followers now or watchers right now, but that's okay. You want to know why it's okay? Because this is evergreen, meaning it's going to be there all the time. So it being there all the time means people can go back. And as we build the channel, because now we can go live on the channel. Oh my God, we made it 50 subscribers. I don't even know how we got there. We only launched this channel. I want to say we launched it February. I wonder if I could call it up real quick and see how long we've been on it. But we haven't been on it very long. I'm gonna actually turn on some red. I don't think it matters. Echo red off. I had a red light there. It's just not dark enough today. We're middle of the day in Florida. It's hot. I wish I could do, like, be honest. Would more people subscribe if I had my shirt off? It's a joke, sort of. I would do a shirtless show. If you got me to 10K, is that what you want? Do you want to see a shirtless me? Oh, that's rude. Someone just commented, leave your shirt on or I'm going to unsubscribe. That's fucked up. He's bugging me. All right, so let's see. Let's see when we started this channel. I don't know if it'll tell me when the channel started. Let's see. I think we can just. Oh, so we joined. Apparently, I had this. Oh, that's right. We had. This was a different name at the time. We joined in 2023 in September, and we didn't use it in all of 2024. And we started really pushing it in January, February, because in September at that time, if I remember correctly, we were talking about doing a YouTube show. So all of this content was actually branded something different in the original version. And we only had like 2 subscribers. So I made it the Kink Educator channel, and hopefully we do have some shows coming to you very soon. All right, so what do we got? Detroit is in the house. Switch Kitten Gamore is with us. Gamore? I always get that one wrong. It always throws me. How are we doing? Talk to me. What do you guys use for safe words? Do you use an actual safe word, or are you using the safety light system? Inquiring minds want to know. What I like about some of these videos is they have like 2nd, 3rd, 4th lives, and they get huge hits. So that also helps. Like, we've been in a shadow ban, but one video got liked by the right person, and it took us out of shadow ban. We got 10,000 views within, I believe it was like 6 or 7 hours. And they, of course, suppressed it. Lord knows why. That's what I don't understand. I get a popular video, and then they decide to suddenly suppress it. Makes no sense. It's checking all the boxes, but you do you, TikTok. I love the fact that you let us be here. It could be, I want to actually make this video if you don't mind. We're going to try to change our look, and we're going to add some light. I'm trying to make the videos look a little different in case someone is checking us out and they don't see the same thing consistently. And it just looks like the same video over and over again. Because I've seen it. Where even the way I was sitting, to me, confuses me. I'm like, wait a minute. What's that? Wow, that really changed the view. So now The swap thing is zooming in. I mean, I'll take it because it'll sort of help us, I guess. Hey, did you know that this channel is 18 plus only? Yeah, we did that. We did that knowing that it was going to hurt our views. It was going to slow down our progression, but we were going to be reaching the right audience. And that was more important. So you should be 18 plus watching this. That means for some reason the algorithm thinks you're kinky. And if that algorithm is right, hit the follow button wherever it goes. It's moving. It's moving. Hit the follow button so it stays on the screen. We're trying here. 10K is close. Help us hit that one. We're also not going to use captions for. Some of the videos I deliberately avoid captions with because I just don't think that they're necessary. Talk to me about you. I want to hear about all of you. Tell me how you're doing. What are you doing? What do we got going on? And if you haven't hit the follow button, please consider doing something right now about that. Hit that button. We are in StreamYard. Let's see. I think we're about to hit the hour mark. We did. We just hit the hour mark on stream. So we are trying to put evergreen content out there. Kenneth is in the house. Shayla is still with us. Switch Kitten Gamora, I think, is with us. How are you doing? This channel has always been a we thing. It hasn't just been a me thing. And I couldn't have done everything I've done. So thank you for that. Seriously, sincerely, thank you for that. I really do appreciate you all. And I'm just going to look up some comments right now. Let's see. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Just looking. All right, some commentaries. Bear with me, you lovely people. We're checking out. So, for those who don't know, by the way, I started a kink educator profile. And I'm actually going to talk about that in a video in a minute. But you guys, I just wanted you to know you can find me now. And I'm trying to do it where you guys pretty easily find me by just hitting the educator thing. It's making me sign in somewhere. Give me 1 second. But yeah, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, I hate the security things, but yeah, we're focusing in on what we can do as always to give you guys better products, and that means really looking at the things we need to look at all the time. And I'm sorry, I'm being a little distracted because this is a pain in the butt, but we want to make the acknowledgments, the talks about it. Okay. All right. Good, 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 good. All right. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Oh, why is this being a pain in the ass? I'm sorry. Bear with me 1 second. It's making me check my email. I feel like someone might have screwed with it. All right. We're almost there. Hey, does anyone remember I just had a total brain drop? I'm into it. We're good. What was the video I wanted to make? I just realized that I kind of forgot it by typing with the password. And I thought it would have been a good video. And I know it somehow stemmed from us talking about uh, what we do part of this. So if you guys could help me out and tell me what it was that I said would make a good video, that would be awesome. Safe words. Um, yeah, let's make that. Talk about that. Wasn't safe words, but that makes a good video today. So let's do that. We adjust our screen. Let's do like I'll do a drop in. Hey, what safe words are you using? Because me, I think you should be using the safety light system. And yes, if you're vanilla, you can do this. It's not just a kinky thing. What that means is that think of a stoplight: green, yellow, red. Green means keep going, everything's great. Yellow means slow down, talk to me, something's wrong. Red means stop working. Let me be. If I'm bound, unbind me. If I'm gagged, ungag me. Because I've also seen people who now use codes in their hands. One for being green, like thumbs up. Two for yellow. Three for red. Also, other safety check-ins you can do is fingers in a hand. Make your partner squeeze. Everything's okay. Again, you can use this in the vanilla world. Also, you can add your own colors, unique ones to what's going on. Blue for a medical issue, purple for an emotional issue, gold for golden. Keep going. Whatever you're doing, keep doing more. Explore more. So, what are you using currently in your dynamic or your relationships or with your play partners? This will actually use. So, being honest, I made up that idea of thumbs up, yellow, red, three stripes type of. What do you guys think? Do you like that? I feel like if I said, "Hey, I just made this up in this very moment," people would be like, "Well, why would I want to use that?" But if you say, "Oh, I've heard people are using it," I feel like people will be like, "Oh, well, maybe I should use that." The hand squeeze is always a good one. It's very good. You you have a partner in the lifestyle. Yes, I do. Uh, my partner N has actually been on episodes of Days of Our Kinks. She is the hand and the smartass in the background, the brat. And I we have taught each other a lot, and it's I don't talk a lot about it because it's private, and it was the kink educator profile, by the way. Why I had to make it was the topic I actually wanted to cover on the video. So I'm going to change my camera. We're going to go over here for this, but yeah, I don't talk a lot about my partner because um, privacy issues, of course, for one. I always you don't want to say something about your partner that's wrong. And I'm here to be a kink educator. Oh, wow, this seems weak. I gotta get a wipe real quick. Um, you don't want to say anything against your partner or accidentally about your partner or misconstrued. And this is going to go in and just watch, and you'll understand some of what I'm about to say will be explained. You know, why I'm separating things, especially now with our current climate. So, all right, my friends. No, you can ask. There are no bad questions. I don't mind talking about them on lives because they show up on the live, and their pronouns are they, them, she, her. But I know they enjoy when I use they, them, so I try to do that. And I also want to talk about pronouns. This one might get me in trouble. So, your job as the audience right now is to remember. Hello, what's going on? Moon, asterisk, moon. Yeah, one. We're just trying to get to 10K. Trying to convince these people to hit that follow button wherever it is right now on this screen. So, you guys remember about why I did the profile? What was the other one we just did? Um, Crap, I'm having good ideas today, and they're just dropping like flies in my mind. Welcome to ADHD. So we're gonna. I don't know. Maybe it'll come back to me. The other one did. It's a good one too. Oh, the new. No, we did that one. Um, it had something to do with the partner. That we'll do the privacy and all that. Luna. What are you educating, Luna? If you don't mind me asking. If I asked before, sorry, ADHD mind doesn't hold everything. If you've told me before, the minute you say it, I'll be like, oh yeah. The ADHD mind sometimes store things. Think of a very messy office. We've taken the notes, we've paid attention. We have trouble filing our notes, and that's why you see me like, that's a good thing. Let's talk about that. Oh shit, what did I just say? Because I look up on the screen and someone made a comment. We've got a new follower. I'm excited. ADHD brain is a real thing. And sometimes I'll even get just frustrated by having to do this. If you ever want to come on and hang out, anyone, but especially Luna, and the reason I've always liked Luna being in the chat, Luna's brought up some really good points in the past. So see, filed that one. I just don't remember if I filed what you're an educator about. And I'm sorry about that. We're going to talk about the new kink educator. I have to actually probably want to use there it goes. Yes, that's me on the Fat Life. But why did I create one? For those of who have been with me for a very long time on this channel, you know that this is not actually the first time we've had Kink Educator on Fat Life. I, in fact, did this just about 2 years ago now. Well, no, after starting this channel. So, like, we'll call it like a year and a half ago. And we had this, and I kind of felt like we shouldn't have to go back to FetLife. We should be building the audience just on TikTok. And I still believe that, but there's some things we can't talk about TikTok. So we created the Kink Educator group. But people had trouble finding the Kink Educator group. I wasn't sure why, but it was a thing. So I figured, well, what if I made the profile again? And also, and this is not going to become political, I'll just say this, there are things that seem to be legally changing about our lifestyle that are concerning to many of us, including new laws that they're trying to put in that look like they're aiming for us without actually saying it, but clearly moral clause things. And again, guys, ethics and morals. Morals are a personal belief. Moral clauses are literally telling you these are our personal beliefs, and you should very much be against moral clauses. I don't think businesses should legally be able to do it. And from my understanding, some people who have been fired because of moral clauses have taken it to court and won lawsuits over this. I think many companies have actually moved back from moral clauses, which is a great thing. If you're a manager, they still make you sign it, but people in the companies now, lower level employees, lower level is not a dig. It is just a hierarchy in every business. There are the employees, the managers, the supervisors, blah, blah, blah. And that's not even in the right order. So we made this also as a protection. There's a difference when I'm the kink educator. Hi, this is me, the kink educator. It is not really show. It is genuinely who I am, but it is a gear of mine. Who I am is often a lot more laid back, a lot more quiet. I'm the guy who wants to sit in the corner. I pay attention, I observe, and I say things. I like to be the silent Bob of the group, say the important things out loud that need to be said. But that's not who the kink educator is. The think educators come in here to give you the education loud in your face, like, hello, he wants to be pretty on camera. Be honest, is this a good look for me? And it's because I want to engage with people. If I sat here and sounded like the guy from Ferris Bueller, you guys would change. Right now, even the battery started to die and the video stopped because this is so boring. You want to see me get crazy. You want to see me get all flexed up like I was a wrestler. True story. I actually trained to be a wrestler. Got bigger deliberately to become a wrestler and got hurt in a freak accident at work. I will never be in NXT. But this is also to protect me. Honestly, to protect the friends, the people I associate with, the people who are my partners. I don't want them to be attacked because someone disagreed with me on the internet. And I've had some issues with some stalkers already on the internet. I've blocked people and they've made new accounts to get around that blocking, and I don't want the people I care about to be affected by that. I came this close to quitting when someone, it's funny, someone threatened to have me no longer be in attendance on Earth. That didn't bother me. But when they talked about trying to go after my kid and make facetious reports to punish me to get me to stop having a TikTok channel, I came really close to pulling the plug. I actually talked to the people around me and said, is it worth it if they're going after my kid? I am here to potentially save people from a lifelong problem with a feeling that their consent was violated by teaching red flags, by giving information to make people feel more invested, to make people feel like they know how to do things without getting hurt. I'm giving up my time. This is not a reward thing. I have a 90-day rule where I won't date anyone who's met me in the capacity of an educator. I'm not trying to profit from this. I'm not trying to get anything. I don't give a shit about popularity. Welcome to neurodivergence. I bet you didn't know that neurodivergent people don't want popularity because we have rejection sensitivity disorder, meaning that if I became popular, I'd be too worried about everyone hating me that I would hate wanting to do it. As a matter of fact, the more popular I get, sometimes the pressure of it. We're chasing 10K. There's going to be 10,000 people trying to expect things from me. I'm like, and you think I'm lying, but it does give me anxiety. It does sometimes make me panic a little bit. But I'm doing it because I have had my consent violated, because I have heard the stories of other people having my consent violated, and I even have people I love truly and dearly that have had their consent violated. And I realize that I can't take any of that back. I can't make any of that go away. But if I can talk about consent on a channel and make content stops it by telling about red flags, by telling about what things have happened, to talk about the things that I see. Maybe we can stop just one consent violation, and that'd be worth it all. That'd be worth it all because no one would have to carry it. There is no such thing as revenge when it comes to consent violation. There's not. You can't. There's nothing you can do to make it better. It is part of you forever. It is not about fixing what happened to me or making it better. It is about making sure no one else feels the way that I. That's why I do what I do. I'm trying to protect people. So this is the protection. This is the middle ground. This is where I want everyone to come follow. And I'm even debating turning my other profile, believe it or not, private because I want people here. I don't want necessarily people there. It's something I'll see. So this is where, if we don't know each other on a very personal level, this is where I want people to come find me. This is where I'll be doing my educating at. And the other one, it'll be what I do on my off times. Consider this the educator channel, the professor channel. This is the professor profile that goes with the channel. And I'm not a professor, I'm just giving a reference point here. So this is where the classroom, we don't want to see our professors at home. They deserve to have their own private Facebook where they talk to their friends. So this is my private Facebook, my private Twitter, my private Instagram. Um, idea is that if I have this for the public, I can have the other one. And yesterday was the last time I will host events on that one, and that's a shame because I had grown a following of like 400 people. When I sent out an invite, it went to 400 people. Again, I'm walking away from that, going the harder road, rebuilding an audience to protect the people, and to give myself a place where I can just be Rob, not the kinky, just the kinky guy. Be the student, the one who goes to events. Because I also noticed that people were now using where I was going on my profile, on my kink profile, to spy on me and kind of creepily stalk me and ask people who are luckily friends of mine, but might not have been, about me and vet me from different states. How creepy is that shit? And their only thing, I believe, was motivated by jealousy that people were listening to as an educator. I don't want those awful moments with my friends. I want to be just a human being as much as I want to be an educator. So this is about privacy. So I implore you to follow this account. If you somehow find the other account, come say hi, sure, if you want, but this is really the place to connect with me. Thank you for understanding. Consider this the public me and the other one the private me, the vacation me, the week me. This is where class will be held. I feel like I ran on with that one. I'll be honest, I think I lost the thread at a certain point, but it is what it is. That looks very somber. That's a good one. So I try to get the best covers I can. For a while, I never paid attention, and I get yelled at. You're on FET. I just messaged your username a few days ago in a live to get the power zone on your FET. Yes, that you can keep that FET. This is for the new people. This is for people I don't know. I want to establish relationships, and of course, the more friendly I get with a person, I might be like, "Hey, why don't you come look at this?" Because I'll be honest, the Kink Educator is something I'll check maybe twice a day. My other one, I get the updates in the emails. I turn the Kink Educator's emails off just because on the weekend, but usually we don't come live on Saturdays. We don't come live on Sundays. We don't even do a lot on Friday. And this is because we get lesser views. We don't get the same audience size. We are on YouTube now for 90 minutes, and I have not seen a comment yet. It takes time to build these things, and I'm willing to put that time in. And you also have some other things that I want to read. Prior to disability, I was a professor at US. Am I allowed to, before I read this out loud, I know you put a public comment in, but I feel this will be on YouTube. I don't want to finish that unless you're okay with it. I'm going to read it. I'm going to acknowledge it, by the way. Wow, impressive. And because we're on YouTube and that's a forever video, I want to be careful. And my person has been in medical ed for decades and has more of a public visibility from past years. And we also have so much compression. I think you mean compassion for others. Like how I love seeing you have reached success. Thank you. It's not easy being a geek, a nerd, being someone who's always been misunderstanding. You'll understand this in neuroscience. Being neurodivergent, it is crippling. For those who aren't neurodivergent, understand that every mistake I make, it haunts me. It fucking haunts me. Like there is no other way to put it. I got a congratulations or something. Oh, we got a 20% discount. They got me though. I looked. But the neurodivergency, it comes with this complication that I feel always shitty. I feel like people will believe lies about me because in my past people have believed lies. It took me understanding that the people who believe the lies about you were waiting to hear a lie about you to feel better about themselves and feel better about how they feel about you. I am not everyone's cup of tea. I am a New Yorker, born and raised. I'm from an immigrant mother. My family were Ukrainian. I was raised with different kind of morality, a very old school. I struggled to this day with genders. Genders! That's what I wanted to make. a video about genders and roles. And actually, gonna write it down this time. I'll type it in there. No, I can't. I'm not supposed to interact. Ah, why won't my pen work? Gender pronoun. Is it pronouns, right? Not pronouns. How do you say it? Is it pronouns or pronouns? Because I know it's pronunciation. So is it pro? No, it's a noun. I answered my own question. It's a pronoun, not yes. Um, no thing as too many good educators. There is my competition, not for the money. There's not competition for the money. There is for me. And I'll finally do a video while we're doing videos today because we're trying to get as much reach as I can. I'm gonna take my shirt off and I'll write this down so I don't forget it. Thirst trap video. I have the smallest little thing to write on right now, and I shouldn't be using it. I have other things, and I just don't have them out. As a matter of fact, I should take it. The good news, nothing broke. The bad news is I'm probably going to step on that tech pin later. I did not realize that was close. All right, so I got an event planner we can use. Yeah, we'll just use this. If I need notes. I always buy notepads. This is an ADHD thing. I always buy notepads, and then I forget where the notepads are. So what do we got? So yeah, this isn't for the money. Let me tell you, if I wanted to make money, and I'm not even kidding with you, I make a fetish educational comic book. I could put her naked on a cover, go to TikTok, make thousands upon thousands of dollars. Ethics and morals. I believe in ethics. I believe that what we do matters. I am a brother. I am a father. I am a human being before I'm anything else. As it is, the way that I have my characters drawn garners some scrutiny because the way women are drawn in comics is often sexualized. It is a fantasy world. Um, One of the things we did for even Cat Dad and Supermom, and this is the ADHD going on here. We had a conversation on how Cat Dad and Supermom, none of the female characters should really have an expressive female form. In other words, they can show, of course, that they're female, but it's not meant to be shown in an aggressive way. So, like you'll see the female characters here on the cover, there's not a lot of um, very sexualized looks. Some of them it is. I mean, Jenna, she's a wrestler. Um, Bodyguard Fox, there's a reason for her body. Barbara was specifically done for that reason. Other characters, and also sometimes it hasn't been my call with certain characters. Like in Eclipse, I didn't really get to make a choice on how the characters looked. They were already pre-made. So there was no conversation for me to have. And Michael doesn't really say. I can tell you that when I've had women artists, I feel like women artists have portrayed the character in very modest ways. And Tamatra, who drew the character of Barbara, really did a great job and does a great job with the female form and doesn't over accentuate it. I'm going to show you an example. I'm just trying to find a page. There's not a lot of nudity in my books, but there is just enough to get us in trouble. So I'm trying to find what I would think to be one of the biggest moments for the character as far as dressing in a way to get attention. So I think we can show you this. So This is the extent of it. You know, just to make sure nothing's wrong. So that's not Barbara, but another character, and the character was kind of a misdirect. I wanted people to think that was Barbara. It wasn't Barbara. It turned out to be someone else, but not over sexualized, but also celebrating the female form. These are things I think about as a creator, my morals and my ethics. It's never. I don't know if it's because of my neurodivergency, but I am not. Oh man, I am an idiot. I'm a horrible businessman. I am not chasing money. And if you saw my bank account, I probably should be. Uh, what I create matters. I want it to live beyond me. I want it to have a purpose. I don't want someone to go back and look at my library, but you created this. And it is something that is important to me. It doesn't mean that I am a straight, what is it, cisgendered man, I believe. Is it? Yeah, it's man, not male, man. So I have that side of me, but I'm also demisexual, and my morality matters. And what I've created has already been put under scrutiny by the women in my life. Uh, so I how am I going to look at the women in my life if I'm over sexualizing a character? What am I setting the example for my son when it comes my son who never had a gender bias, but it actually picked it up from his mother. And I don't really talk about that situation, but it's the truth. Uh, his mother is very much not where I would like her to be when it comes to certain topics. And he kind of made some biases in my kid when it came to gender biases. And I had a big talk with him. There was a Lego set, really cool one, by the way, a bakery one. And it was really nice, little teacups and stuff. I think it's cool. The cisgendered old white guy. I'm basically on wanted posters just for my attribute. Middle-aged white guy into comics, straight. Oh my god. Like I'm a vanilla nightmare. If I weren't kinky, is that who I'd be? Oh my god. Horrible, horrible people. But I'm also nerdy. I'm kinky. So those attributes aren't often attributed. And I've had to sit there and hear them talk about men, and I've heard about how men are described, and I've had to shake my head and say, yeah, that's fucked up. It's really fucking fucked up. And that sucks. That sucks so bad. But it's true. So um, that was a really roundabout way about money. Sorry. Uh, let's see what else we got. Thanks for asking. It was a small department for sure. Um, Gotcha. Okay. I'm not reading those two now. They're not necessary for our conversation. And thank you for saying that's beautiful. Uh, Mother effer was laughing at me. Why? What did I do? All right. So let's have some fun. That got a little deep. We'll go deep and then kind of have. All right. Echo, stop. Echo, stop eavesdropping. What do we got? I wrote Thirst Trap, and my handwriting's even so bad for me. You guys, I'm an old fuck. And I thought it said Christ play. And I'm like, why did I write down Christ play? Jesus. All right. Yes, that was a cheap joke. Let's do gender and pronouns. Since when did I start playing that pronoun game? Is something that's actually been asked for me. And I looked at the person, maybe it's because I'm neurodivergent and I didn't quite get what they were getting at in the very beginning. And I just looked at them and blurted out, like I often do, since kindergarten. Like, isn't that when everyone learns genders? And I know kids nowadays are probably learning more about gender at 3 and 4 than I ever did. But My friend didn't mean it the simple way. He meant it with all the new stuff. And to me, first, it wasn't new. There had always been this idea of only two genders to certain groups, but I came up in the 90s and the 2000s. I remember when genders were a lot more complicated. There were so many that no one would ever know exactly who someone was by looking at them. And you know what? Maybe we shouldn't know who someone is by just looking at them. Don't judge a book by its cover. What about the girls who go out and dress as goth on the weekend but are business every day of the week? What about our lifestyle, the kinky lifestyle? We certainly don't wear shirts that advertise who we are that are on sale now. No, no, no. Ask me in the comments. We don't do that. We obviously show who we are every day of the week. Gender, uh, gender and pronouns have always been something that's there and controlled by society norms. Being kinky, for those of us who identify that way, that have certainly hit that follow button by now, we have to realize the importance of acceptance and understanding. I don't understand every human being, and I don't have to understand every human being because I have those human beings to ask questions of so I can better understand them. So I'm going to teach you something. This is for all you who don't get it. I'm going to get you to get it very quickly. Ready? Someone says, that's not my pronoun. My pronouns are this instead. And we'll go with they, them. Instead of getting in your feelings, instead of feeling any way about it, simply do this. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll make sure to use the future. I should not have gender subscribed, not subscribed, gender signed you. My apologies. I am sorry. Boom. That's it. And I know some people are going to go, what about the people who get really mad at me because I got their gender wrong? The first question I ask is, well, how did you handle it? Did you say sorry? Why should I have to say sorry? Same as you would say sorry if you got someone's name. If I went up to someone and said, hey, Tom, and they're like, my name is Jill. My bad. I wouldn't go, well, you look like a Tom, and because you look like a Tom, I'm going to call you a Tom from now on. Because I've decided what a Tom is, and you, Jill, are a Tom. You haven't done that, Sarah? You're welcome. Learn to say sorry. Listen to what people identify as. Move on with your fucking life. Get over yourself. For those who do the compassionate thing, listening to other human beings. Thank you. Life's not so hard. We make it fucking harder than it has to be. And then we act like it is. Just remember that. Jill and Tom moment the rest of your life. You'll do so much better. All right. That one I'll actually use. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Uh, extra. I make videos and like you're giving me compliments. Wait till you see the next video. It's gonna be embarrassing. But it's the humor. I go for the gag. So thank you. It's and it took me time to get here. It did it and I was part of a generation that was coming up with a lot of these things suddenly changing. And it was never that I didn't want to, and I swear in my soul, I have never had a problem with things. I have a problem with people trying to hold me accountable and being rude to me. It is the rejection sensitivity. And even if I don't mean it, sometimes I get defensive, and defensive sounds accusatory. And there had been people and who I have experienced and the college age people who were going to college that were more in tune with what was coming, what was the future going to look like, the changes that had to take place. So if I said someone's gender and I got it wrong and people jumped all over my back about it, I would get defensive until the day I learned, oh, I'm sorry. Well, you shouldn't do that. You're absolutely right. Really think about most of the fights you've had in your life. And I want you to understand there is a point where you engaged beyond what you needed to engage in. Because I mean, and I think back to the first fight I had with someone where they were coming at me and they were mad about me getting a gender. This is like, oh man, this would have been like 2003, 2004, and I we had hired someone who had feelings about male, had biases towards males, And I won't go into their story, but if I'm being honest, they probably had a good reason. And I respected their sister, and they were totally different, very respectful sister. And the sister asked me to give this person a job in the overnight, and they had really been rude to me about it. And even though I used their proper gender, it was the fact that I assumed it. And in the time, I definitely didn't handle it the way I would handle it now, but it did make me grow in the moment. And as rude as they were to me, it made me consider things. And I learned this. And I learned this in like what, 2000, so in 2002. So I learned this in 2002, which made my life so much better. So I had someone like a year later at a job, and I was only going to a place for one time, and I had said something like, "Ask her." It was that simple. Just ask her. And they turned around and they were like, "Excuse me, did you think that's my pronoun?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did assume that's your pronoun. That's my bad. I apologize. What are your pronouns?" And they just looked at me and they were like, "Well, I go by she, her, but you should have asked first." And I'm like, "You're right. That was my bad. Um, I'm a little older. I'm neurodivergent. I'm trying to figure out the new landscape, and I'm dedicated to be a better in the future. So please accept my apology." They were like, "But you understand that that is something that's bad to do to someone. You can make people feel horrible." And I was like, "I absolutely do understand that. And that's why I'm apologizing because I don't want anyone to feel bad. Certainly don't like when people take me out of context. I never want to take another human being out of context. I want to be there to support." Again, I'm sorry, but there's not much more I can do than say sorry. And in the future, I guess use the pronouns she, her for you. They just looked at me and they were like, "You try to make a joke of this?" I was like, "Absolutely not. I'm clarifying. And if I get it wrong again, please hold me accountable. Or if at one point you decide that you want to go under different pronouns, please let me know so I can support you on that." They were pissed off, angry, but didn't say another word to me. And just walked away. And later on, when I ran into this person again, they were very nice to me because people are so ready to fight. They want to fight because the world has taught us to fight. But we have to realize that everyone's fighting because they've been made to fight. And sometimes we have to have that moment of our own clarity to make sure we're supporting other people, to make sure that they feel seen, they feel supported, because that's what they need. And that's a personal responsibility for me. I'm as an educator, I teach pronouns. Just say sorry if you get them wrong. Genders, just say sorry if you get them wrong. Sorry is a powerful tool we all have, and it's for free. And this is going to be so awkward considering what I'm about to do next. As a teacher, I deal with this issue every year. It's hard to adjust learned bias. Yeah, yeah, it really is, and especially if the people you are teaching have no clue what they're doing is a bias. We are taught bad things early on, and we aren't at an age where we get to decide it. As a parent, I've seen my child develop as a human being. I've watched it. I pay a lot of attention to my neurodivergent autistic son. Probably more attention than most parents do because of his autism. I'm paying attention to certain things that I don't think many parents would. But I've seen him develop into a human being, and I've seen him pick up biases from his mother. I have seen him use certain words. And one day, my dad, when I was just teaching him, he was like, "Well, just because you like something doesn't mean you have to make me feel bad about liking something." And that was a moment that I knew that I was doing a good job as a parent because that expressiveness from any child at the age of 8 is amazing. But he did an amazing job, and I told him, "Well, I'm just teasing you." And since that day, we now have a rule where if he's curious if I'm teasing him, he can turn around and just ask, "Are you teasing me, Daddy?" And I'll be like, "Yes, this is just a joke. I'm ribbing you." And he'll be like, "Well, why do you?" And he even asked me the really good follow up this year. "Well, why do you tease me?" I was like, "Because it's fun to tease, right? You like teasing me. You like making jokes. You like picking on me a little bit, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." So it's what we do to people we care about. We kind of want to tease them. We want to have fun. We want to show them, like, and I say it all the time, I tease the people I care about. I act professional with anyone I don't like or don't feel close to. Okay, this is going to be an awkward one, but we're going to go for it. Don't judge me too hard on this one. Got to get them views. I mean, those follows. Got to get those follows. We'll do anything for follows. Wait, stop. We're got to get to 10K. I'm going to do whatever it takes. So I'm willing to do this. Glasses off, eyebrow. If you follow this page, well, that means you'll get to see more of this. Does this earn a follow? Oh. Put the shirt back on, or you're gonna report the video. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my bad. I'm putting it back on now. But it's not even going on right. It's embarrassing. All right. I'm sorry. No nipples. Don't set them free. Keep them hidden. I got it. Would you still consider it? This has been awkward for both of us. Let's just forget it. Yes, that is my sense of humor. I don't know how the video will be received, but I will put it out there because sometimes the joke is good. It's funny. Everyone stopped watching the live YouTube. There's no one here on TikTok, just like you. What time is it? There was something I actually have to get to. Oh shit! It's 12:22. I have been on live longer than I expected to be. I'm gonna give everyone 10 minutes, and then I do got to get going. We have still had 0 views here, but yeah, we're just about 2 hours. All right. Wow, you guys got quiet. I'm sorry. I'll keep my shirt on from now on all the time. Let's take a look at how many followers we have had. Did the shirt work? Oh, we've gotten 7 new followers according to this. So we are now at 9,864. We're getting there. Oh, we got 21 interactions. 7 of those were follows. Thank you all to those who followed. We got some good comments that I'll deal with later. I don't want to put anything more out there. Whew. I'm gonna make a couple more secretly giggling. Okay. I hope people get that was a joke. I really, really do hope people like even taking the shirt off. Like I can take my as one of the wrestling things I learned to take the shirt off with one hand, but I'm actually sweaty. So while it was sticking, I was like, "Oh, this will play in nice." Sometimes happy accidents. Oh, I do appreciate you all for hanging out with me. It has been a great show, but it doesn't seem like we have anything more to talk about at the moment, which is perfectly fine. So I will say this on the way out. Turning us to 18 plus has certainly hurt our reach. There were certain Freaky Fridays that we were having outside the Panera in a bad backdrop, looking horrible, where we literally got 200 people watching. But out of that 200, clearly not all of them should have been here. If you have a friend who's on TikTok, remind them if they're 18 plus to fill out their birthday because they're missing a lot of content. To support content, and someone made a really good point about this. Do not just like a video that you first see. If you have not watched at least 15 to 20 seconds of the video, do not hit the like yet. Because what they think is that this is a bot or someone just liking someone's videos without actually engaging in them. TikTok is pushing engagement like it has never pushed before. It is about the likes. They discontinued it.